got to do the small things every day, and you got to attack yourself every day. And so the biggest thing I would say for self-awareness is just pick the one thing that you don't understand about yourself, or you don't like the most, or maybe you had self-trauma that causes your insecurity to be this way, and you just go attack that one thing. And then you get a little bit better. There's a new thing.
Welcome to Mission of Missions. I'm your host, Jeremy Tears. This is the show designed to help you grow, both professionally and personally, in the fast-paced world of higher education. Every other Tuesday, I sit down with senior leaders, new professionals, and difference makers from across higher ed and beyond, where we'll share tips and strategies related to challenging topics like student recruitment, leadership, customer service, enrollment marketing, and time management. So if you're looking for practical advice and conversations that actually move the needle, this show's for you. Grab your notepad or fire up your notes app, and let's get into it. Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Tears, and this is episode 81 of the Mission Admissions podcast. And I'm really looking forward to today's conversation because you are about to hear from a young man who is known to many as the Chief Energy Officer. Conrad Hawley is a former dual sport Power 5 college athlete who is now currently a motivational speaker for college athletic programs, Fortune 500 companies, and at annual business conferences. And I have not heard Conrad speak, but I know some people who have, and they talk a lot just about his energy and how authentic he is and just how he really gets audience members to think. And those are the best conversations when people leave and have all kinds of thoughts going through their brain. So welcome to the show, Conrad.
Thank you for having me on, Jeremy.
Here's where I would love to start, Conrad. What's been the biggest challenge for you when it comes to navigating your job and career to this point in your life?
The most challenging thing is, how do you express to somebody that I'm confident at what I do, and I think I'm good at what I do, and I know I have value, and now I'm supposed to get business with you, I guess. Like, how do you express that without sounding arrogant or cocky or transactional? And the hardest thing has been learning how to reach out to somebody on like a cold call, I guess, and being like, "Hey, I've got this great message. I'd love to speak to your team. I love it. I think it could really impact your team." And so finding the balance of, keeping it about not being transactional and being about serving people and getting better as far as growing other people, but at the same time trying to run a business, trying to do well, trying to get ahead. So that's been a challenge for sure.
And so I would love to expand on that. Like what have you found then that works for you? Because I know a lot of people listening right now will deal with a similar situation, right? Where they're having to reach out to either prospective students who are looking at their college or parents of those prospective students, and they have no clue who these people are.
Yeah.
These people don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And it's not obviously, we'll say, trying to get business, but yet at the same time, it is trying to get them to pay enough attention. So what ultimately are some of the things that you found that have been working for you to be able to get people to say, so Conrad, tell me about your story then.
Yeah. So as I got this piece of advice when I was younger, but I didn't really let it fully come in. It essentially says, seek first to understand, then to be understood. And so I really feel like, as a business man or an entrepreneur, the times in which I'm like, I want these people to know everything about me. I want them to bring me in. I want them to understand that I've got something great. It doesn't really work out, and it's pretty transactional, and it's not what it needs to be, versus I reach out to somebody and I was like, hey, I want to know everything, single thing about you. I want to know how your team works, and I want to know about all your problems. And then just get them talking, build some trust. And then once that happens, okay, now they can understand where I'm coming from and we can work together.
I feel like then, if we're talking about just skills that we all possess and things that we all possess, Conrad, self-awareness, and the self-awareness to know what you're good at, what you're not good at, regardless of your age, right, is such a critical skill. Why do you think it's such an important skill, especially for a young person when they're navigating their career?
I think it's just very important because you have to like who you are, and the first part in understanding who you are and liking the person you see in the mirror is acceptance. So, like, I got to go into life situations and be like, okay, I know I can be good here, and I know I probably can't be good there. And so, what do I do to get better at this? What do I do to make my strengths even stronger? And then the biggest thing of that having self awareness does for you is it allows you to be able to see things as a logical way. It takes your emotions out of it. You're not so worried that this person said this or this didn't work out for you, or you had all these expectations for yourself. You're like, for an example, if you're not a fast runner and you go run a 5K, if you're the person who's like, I'm going to run sub 20 minutes today, you're probably going to be a little upset when you don't. But if you're the person like, I'm not that fast, my goal is to break it 5 seconds better than I did the time before, you'll be successful, and you won't be putting your opinion on everything because you're just aware of who you are and how you can grow.
So if you can think back, and I don't know if it'll pop in your brain right away when I say this, but like, what was the unlock for you, Conrad, that got you to a point where you were like, okay, I can be real with myself,
Yeah.
and I know that doing that is not a bad thing?
Yeah. Oh, so I quit football, and that's what I originally did. So I went and played quarterback at the University of Kansas, and I quit. And when I quit, I was like, okay, well, who am I? Okay, I'm mentally weak. I lie about anything. I was the type of person who, if I had a cereal for breakfast, I'd tell somebody I had a protein shake just cause. So now I lie. I'm mentally weak. I'm a quitter, and I don't see things through, and I'm not the leader I want to be. So then I realize, okay, this is who I am. So now every single day from here on out, I'm going to look at myself in the mirror, and if I'm going to read a book about something, I'm going to read it. If I have to call somebody on the phone and say, I apologize lying to you about this, or if I'm a leader and have to call somebody, I should have led you in a different way, and I was making you do something that necessarily I wasn't doing on my own, I would call them and I would tell them. And so the more it made me squirm, the more I didn't like it, the more I didn't like myself and the hard things I had to do to get better. And I had great mentors and great people around me who helped me get through that time and still help me today when I have shortcomings and stuff. So that was pretty much it.
So if somebody's listening to this and they probably know deep down, all right, I need to be more self aware. Like, where do they start, Conrad, in terms of like, I don't want to, overwhelm myself and really get myself down in the dumps because now I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, man, I really don't. But like, what is it then that would be the best advice you would give them as to like, here are some of the things then that you need to probably initially do if you want to be more self aware?
I mean, just keep track of the lies you tell yourself from the day to day. Like the first step in becoming self aware, like, are you the person who does what you say you're going to do? Like, do you wake up at that time? Do you eat that thing? Do you drink that thing? Do you respond to hard that way? And if you are that person, you become more self aware. And then if you have shortcomings, that's where your self awareness comes. Oh, I didn't do what I said I was going to do. And the more you can build up that habit, then you can start to eat the elephant one bite at a time. And you can chase the bigger things of, oh man, I want to get substantially better at this and I want to do a 180 on this. Well, it doesn't just show up right away. And you got to do the small things every day and you got to attack yourself every day. And so the biggest thing I would say for self awareness is just pick the one thing that you don't understand about yourself or you don't like the most, or maybe you had self trauma that causes your insecurity to be this way, and you just go attack that one thing. And then you get a little bit better. There's a new thing. That's the advice I would give.
So, what then are some of those, I'll call them habits, that you feel like somebody can do, right, that help them to become more self aware? You talked about those little things. Like, what are some of those little things
Yeah.
that over time add up to, again, all of us being more self aware?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge daily habits person, and that was one thing I learned at Iowa State, and it's just so true. So like, I start my day the same way every day, and that's like my look in the mirror of what type of man am I going to be today. And so, I got my list. I wake up, it's my first win. I go to the bathroom because I'm hydrated. It's win number two. I'm being self aware. Am I treating my body the right way? Win number three, I get dressed. Win number four, I brush my teeth. I got my proper hydration. Win number five, my car starts. And win number six, I get where I need to be on time. And so when I do those things throughout the day, now I've built up this confidence in my day that I can go be the person I want to be. And it's causing me self aware in that. You got to start small. You have to have a simple routine. You have to have simple daily habits. And that allows you to actually spend more time on what matters to you. Because if you just wake up thinking, oh, how am I going to be self aware today? I'm going to analyze every decision I make. You're going to be stuck in the mud. But if you can be that person who's, I get these things done, I cross this off the list, I grow. Those would be just the simple ways I would say.
What other skills do you feel like for any young professional, especially, right? You should be prioritizing these things if you want to be successful, regardless of what industry you're going. Like, these are things that, like, now would have been super helpful for you to even prioritize when you were in college, for example, or just starting your career.
I wouldn't say I have a multitude of things. I just have one thing. And so I wrote about this the other day, but it's something that's stuck with me a lot. And we all understand that, like, there are no ups without downs. You have to struggle in order to grow. You have to have immense failure in order to succeed. But I'll ask you a question. Do you have that little voice in the back of your head that's like, man, I just want to fast forward to the good part?
We all do,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. We 100% do. We all do. Like me personally, man, I want to fast forward to the good part. I want to fast forward to the part, I'm 23. I want to fast forward to my 40-year-old home and what that looks like and what my kids look like. I want to fast forward to that. I want $100,000 to just show up in my account. Okay. And so we all have that little voice. But no matter who you are as a young professional or no matter what industry you're in, when that little voice goes from, man, I just want to, just a little bit easier, fast forward just a little bit, when that changes to bring it on, I want the hard, I want the struggle, give me more, then, man, you are getting strong, you are getting tough, and you are going to soar because we are in the age of instant gratification. And I kind of like what Dana White said, no matter if you support him or his business or anything, about we're in a generation of people who, if you are even a little bit of a savage, you're going to run everybody over. And so if you can chase that little thing in your head, and every time he shows up or he or she shows up, man, I wish I just had the, you know, could fast forward. No, bring it on. I want more of it. I want more of it. I want more of it. Because then stuff doesn't get easier. You get better at dealing with hard. And the more you can chase it, you'll be all right.
So we all make mistakes. You hit on that. And, I'm very much of the same mindset as you that, like, when you become comfortable and understand that life is about making mistakes, and then understanding how to hopefully deal with them effectively, right? A lot of things change. And so let me ask you, when you mess up or fail, Conrad, how do you deal with it? What works for you?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I don't deal with it good. I'm a perfectionist. I get pissed off. I don't like it. And I am not the most, like, if there was a little voice in my head saying, doing all right, giving me some grace, nope, that's not there for me. And so I have to work on that. So, like, the biggest things I try to figure out is, like, you know, okay, just take my emotion out of it. Just that is the biggest thing for me is, like, how can I be more logical? How can I be more logical? It's like when I mess up, okay, why did I mess up? But not emotionally. Why did I mess up? I didn't do my research. I didn't do my homework. I didn't do as good as I should have. I didn't prepare as much. I didn't seek to understand somebody else as much as I should have.
Well, but I think it's normal for all of us to get frustrated, upset when we make a mistake or when we fail. But to your point, there's a big difference between saying, okay, cool, but then I also know how to move on and move forward versus, you know what, I'm just going to stay down in the dumps and beat myself up and self inflict all of this on myself, where now it affects all kinds of other parts of my life. And so, was there anything that really helped you, I'll say, be able to go from I'm pissed off, I'm to, okay, I have my moment, now I can get past it.
Yeah, I mean, I just ask myself a simple question like, what type of man do you want to be? Like, because I've been a quitter, I've been a liar. I don't want to be that man anymore. And I ask myself, like, am I going to be the man who experiences failure and cries about it and sulks in it and delays the action? Action's the most important thing for me. So it's just a simple adage of just get back on that horse. Man, you fell off it. Get back on it. Get back on it. Get back on it because that is the man or that is the woman or that is the person who succeeds. And so for me, yeah, I get pissed off, but 20 minutes later, I'm doing something else and I'm acting. And the next part of, like I like to talk about in my speeches with problems, I mean, people love to invent problems, their own problems, they invent them, and then they love to complain about them. And then they love to dwell on them and it creates more problems. When in my life, anytime a problem comes up, you punch it in the mouth, it's not a problem anymore. And you deal with it head on, doesn't bother you as much. Action trumps all that stuff. You have to act.
What has really helped you not get caught up then in this whole idea of like, I'm scared to fail, I'm scared to, make those mistakes? And you are able clearly to be able to focus more on, no, I need to take action and I need to try things. How did you get to that point?
Oh, I mean, through failure, like every time, all of my biggest mess ups in life, whether I never see them in the moment, the next day, the next time, the next month, the next year, it spurs something that's just beautiful. And the more I mess up and the more I act after, it's like the more reps I have at it, the easier it is for me to understand. And I still see that show up in my day to day life. I mean, I mess up every day, multiple times a day. And then, the next week, the same situation will show up and I'm just handle it just a little bit better. And now I'm like, oh, I'm getting better. And me messing up caused me to get better. And it's also this same thing, sports analogy. And a lot of people watch sports and are around sports or familiar with sports. Losing makes a team sharp. And especially like a good team. They're 14, they won 14 games, they lost three, they learned way more in those three. So just understanding that allows me to move forward and not be scared about it.
How do you feel like any of us can better support those around us? What are some of the things we can do?
Oh man. You just you have to actually get to know somebody, and they have to know you care about them. And so I feel like a lot of times, like especially in the workplace, you don't really know anybody. Like you don't know their middle name. You don't know how many siblings they have. You maybe know where they're from. Probably don't know the high school name they went to or what makes them tick. And I think that if you want to support somebody around you, you have to know those things. And you have to, again, it's just like we talked about in the beginning, seek to understand. Go understand that person. Go understand how you can support them. Ask them, hey, what can I do to make you better? And if they don't tell you, pry it out of them. Hey, I know there's something I can do. Come on, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I think we could do that as people.
What keeps you motivated on days when you kind of feel like the work you're doing is draining?
Oh man, so every day. Oh, that's awesome. Man, what keeps me motivated is just the so I draw inspiration from so many people, and as a speaker, that's the best part about speaking is I get to meet people and I get to learn from other people. If people hear me talk, they think I have something to say. Absolutely not. Afterwards, when they ask me questions, I learn so much more from them. So on the days where I don't feel like it, I just ask myself, well, if this person was in my shoes, what would they do? Or if they could have this opportunity, or if they could go back and do this, would they do it? And the next part is just a little bit of like a mind game with myself. Like, am I really going to be the person who relies on motivation? Or am I going to be disciplined? When I know I don't want to do it, I do it anyways. I do it anyways because all the times I don't want to do it and I do it anyways, I feel great after. And I equate that to working out. Like so many times throughout the day, I don't want to work out. Like after this, I'm going to go work out. Workout number 2 on the day. I don't want to do it, but afterwards, I'm going to feel great. And so that's just how it goes.
So then how do you think any of us can figure out that we're actually growing versus just, I'll say, surviving?
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. That leads right back to the self-awareness. So that's how you know you're growing if you are self-aware. So there's situations in my life that I've handled poorly and I didn't like the way I handled it. And then a very similar circumstance happened again for that situation to play out and I handled it better that time. So now that I'm self-aware, I'm like, okay, I grew. I saw that I grew.
I end every show the same way, Conrad, with something I call fun rapid fire. So I'm just going to give you a handful of things and I want you to tell me what immediately comes to mind. All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
What's harder, reading a defense in football or staying calm in a basketball huddle?
Oh, defense and football for sure.
Better student section, Kansas football or Iowa State basketball?
Not even close. Iowa State basketball, baby.
Better student section, Iowa State basketball or Kansas basketball?
Oh, man, Iowa State basketball. That's a good one.
Somebody in Lawrence is not happy right
I
now.
know.
Rumor is you've been skydiving before. What was the exact thought in your head the moment you stepped out of that plane?
Oh, just relief. It was so scary on the way up. That was the worst part. People talk about being frozen. I was frozen. I couldn't move. I couldn't think. And then on the way down, it was like the biggest sense of relief. I'm like, finally, I'm out of this plane. It was a lot of fun.
I also heard you like to golf. What's the worst part of your golf game?
Oh, definitely off the tee box. Man, if I could stop going out of bounds, I'd be all right.
Last one. What's the best new TV show you've stumbled upon recently? What are you watching these days?
Tulsa King's really good. I really like season 3.
Very, very good show.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone is
Yeah.
continuing to do amazing things. That I don't know what he is. I feel like he's in his 70s these days. And so I think the biggest thing I want to encourage the audience, to leave with is you have to fail to be able to get to a point where you are successful. Like nobody gets to the top of whatever they're trying to get to without obviously some of that failure. And so just reminding yourself that it's okay to fail and then just having a plan for how you deal with it. I mean, Conrad, I think that's such an important thing for all of us, right?
Absolutely. I agree with you. And thank you for having me on. You were an awesome host.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you listening. And we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for listening to Mission Admissions. This show is a proud member of the Enrollify Network, home to Higher Ed's the largest collection of podcasts. Enrollify is where higher ed goes to grow, so be sure to check out our other podcasts, webinars, video clips, blogs, and more. Visit enrollify.org and subscribe for all the latest details and content drops directly to your inbox. Enrollify is brought to you by Element 451, the digital workforce platform for higher ed. Learn more at element451.com.